On Thursday night, we lost a true VFL in Wes Rucker, a guy who'd covered Tennessee athletics for over 25 years. But more than that, he was a husband, he was a father. And if you guys feel inclined or have the ability to donate, I encourage you to do so. This link, chatsports.com/Wes, it's in the comments and description of today's video. It will take you right to the GoFundMe set up by Wes Rucker's family. And if you have no ability to donate, do not worry at all. Your thoughts and prayers are much appreciated for his family during this really troubling time. And with that, let's get started with today's video. What's going on, Vol fans? Welcome into Tennessee Football Talk. My name is Joey Peterson. So happy for you guys to join us today. We got a ton to dive into. First up, we're going to talk a little bit about Keshan Bowman, the latest on a 5-star wide receivers recruitment that hopefully will end with him signing the dotted line with the Tennessee Volunteers. And then we're going to dip into the mailbag for the very first time on Tennessee Football Talk. Your questions, my answers. That's how we're going to round out today's show. But first up, Keshan Bowman, 6'1", 175-pound, 5-star wide receiver in Nashville, Tennessee at Brentwood Academy, 32nd best player in the country, 5th best wide receiver, and 2nd best player in the state, only behind 5-star running back David Gabriel Georges. It was a bit more of a quiet junior season for Keshan. Sophomore year, he had over 1,000 yards. This year, a little bit of a step back in the production. 50 catches, 665 yards, 13.6 yards a catch, and 11 touchdowns in 2025. But still, like when you watch the tape on him, you still see the ability because it jumps off the screen. He was a massive, massive performer at the Under Armour All-American. In fact, after the first day of practice, he was listed as the second best performer just behind the quarterback Camden Lapati, who is committed to the University of Illinois. Regardless, I digress. This kid is an absolute stud. My pro comp for him is Jameson Williams, a tallish, wiry-ish guy who could play outside, he can play inside, he can beat you deep. He's electric with the football in his hands. I feel like he replicates Jameson Williams' game to a T. Hopefully, it does not end up in crimson, but of course ends up in orange. It's been an interesting last 6-7 months or so for Keshan Bowman. He really caught my radar when he decommitted from Oregon in July. And he committed to Oregon in July, but then on September 13th, Georgia game, visited Tennessee. 6 days later, decommitted from Oregon. The day after that was in Tennessee again. But since then, it kind of has seemed that his interest in the University of Tennessee plateaued, took a really, really steep incline, and kind of just been steady over the last 5 months or so. Well, we got a new update on him from Brent Hubbs, and it's pretty solid news. Keshan Bowman chose to not commit this month because Kelsey Pope has been working on him tremendously hard. Pope has always played the long game in this recruitment and has been consistent with his pitch for the Brentwood Academy standout. He's whittled it down to a top 5, but of course has not yet chosen his one. Miami's in the mix, Ohio State, Oregon, Tennessee, and Vanderbilt. Those are his top 5. And this is a kid who I don't want to say has flip-flopped over the last couple of months, but he's gone back and forth on decisions, which is rightfully so. I mean, this is a massive, massive choice for a 17-year-old to make. December 7th, he came out and said, look, Vanderbilt and Miami, those two are the ones that are leading the pack. A lot of people thought at that time Vanderbilt was almost a shoo-in to land Keshan Bowman. But then just about 23 days later, December 30th, Keshan Bowman set his commitment date for February 10th. And then about 2.5 weeks after that, January 16th, Keshan Bowman said, look, I think I might need an extra 48 hours or so. Let's go ahead and bump that back to February 12th. And then 12 days after that, Keshan Bowman committed or pushed back his commitment yet again, inevitably, or indefinitely, I should say. He said, look, I'm just not ready. I've had some big conversations with school the last few weeks, and I'm going to push my commitment date until further notice. Look, ladies and gentlemen, the Tennessee Volunteers are still very much in this race. Okay, it seemed about September they were probably the leaders. Then they fell a little bit back in the pack. But you heard what Brent Hubbs said. The reason he's pushing back that commitment is because Kelsey Pope seems to be turning up the heat a little bit, getting himself and the Tennessee Volunteers back in the mix. This one's not going to be decided for a while. Okay, I think probably summer, maybe at the earliest, late spring. it's going to be a couple of months longer until we find out where Keshan Bowman is headed. And I like where the Tennessee Volunteers sit as we currently are compared to how I've kind of felt over the last couple of months. And we shouldn't have any reservations with Kelsey Pope's ability to recruit. I mean, you look at the guys that he's brought in. 5-star Tristan Keys flipped him from LSU. 5-star Mike Matthews. 4 stars Travis Smith, Braylon Staley, Tyree King, Joel Wyatt. Of course, he's an athlete, but still, Pope did have a little bit to do in the recruitment of Joel Wyatt. But mainly talking about Keys, Matthew Smith, Staley, and King. He has a keen ability to get blue-chip prospects to see the offense at the University of Tennessee and say, hey, look, I want to be a part of that. I want to be a part of what you could bring me as a Vol. Do you want the Vols to land Keshan Bowman? If you do me one big favor. Hit that thumbs up button and like today's video, ladies and gentlemen. If you want the 5-star to just get on 40 and head east, just like I want, make sure hit that thumbs up button and like the video. We got questions coming up in a second. Don't go anywhere. But if you do go somewhere, go to chatsports.com/VolsGreen, where you can get our Tennessee Drinking Team t-shirts on sale right now. We got loads of sizes. We got 2 different colors. You can get it in green. You can get it in black. I just need some people to join me celebrating St. Patrick's Day, whether you are Irish and you truly celebrate this holiday, or whether you just use it as an excuse to pound a couple of Guinnesses with your boys. This is a great, great, great opportunity for you to get yourself something new for the closet, celebrate the holiday, and support us here at Tennessee Football Talk. First ever merch we've had on this channel. jetsports.com/VolsGreen. That is in the comments and description of today's video. So head down there right now. Made it super easy for you guys to get there. Let's get into the mailbag. Man, I'm so excited for this. First question coming from BBB Prods. Faison will win a Heisman in year 2. Reminder, I said hot takes and questions. This is a hot take, a very, very hot take, but one, I mean, if I had to rate this, like if I had to pull a Josh Pate and rate this on a boldness scale from 1 to 10, I mean, I'd probably give this one like a 9.6. Like this is a hard thing to happen, ladies and gentlemen. Tennessee's never had a Heisman winner, but I think Faison's got all the abilities in the world to do it. He's an unbelievable dual threat. He has a great, great arm, accurate. He can throw the ball a country mile. Like, there's a reason he was so highly recruited. There's a reason that Tennessee's probably paying him a lot of money to come to the university. And I would not be shocked if Faison Brandon ends up winning the starting job. If that happens, this helps the projection or a prediction a ton. Because if you just say year 2, to me, that means 2027. If he's not starting next year, it's going to be hard for him to win a Heisman the first year he starts. People have done it before, but you guys know what I'm saying. But if he does it in the second year he starts, after he starts as a true freshman, then that's going to help a little bit. I like the hot take, though. I like it a lot. I'm hopeful about it. White Monster. Chances of our defense not being horrible next year. The defense will improve, okay? I can pretty much capital G guarantee that. Because it's going to be very hard for them not to improve with how bad they were. But I don't think we'll see them at the peak of what they could be next season. That's the thing about Jim Knowles. Every single place he's been, it's taken his defenses 2 to 3 years to mature to what they fully are, to mature to where they're playing their best football. So they're going to get there. I just don't know if they'll get there in 2026. Maybe 2027. Maybe 2028. Maybe that's the year that we're all waiting for. There'll be year 3 of Faison Brandon, year 3 of Jim Knowles in Knoxville. That might be the year the Tennessee Volunteers could win it all. Candy Verba, with Joey Aguilar 10-2, without Joey Aguilar 8-4, defense will be solid, better than last year, and the offense will be dependent on the QB play. Yeah, obviously the decision for Joey Aguilar came down late yesterday. So that means your official prediction, Candy, is 8-4. Joey Aguilar raised the ceiling. That was my biggest argument through this whole process. And now that he is no longer going to be playing, you just really don't know what's there. You don't know what to expect. You can have a lot of confidence in George McIntyre because he was a highly rated recruit, but he hasn't started a down of college football. Neither has Faison Brandon if he wins it. So I agree defense will be better than last year. I don't think it'll be anything top 30. But I do think defense can get top 50. That'd be great. That'd be a massive, massive improvement. I see a similar type result next year with a first-year starter in that tough SEC schedule. Joey, how many sacks do you think Chaz Coleman will have this upcoming season? I'm going to say 6, and then I'm going to say the year after that, he's going to get into the double digits. I'm excited for Chaz Coleman. Easily the transfer portal player. I'm most excited about him and Amari Campbell. I'm really, really pumped up about both of those guys. But Chaz Coleman going to be an absolute stud. Go Vols games. Who is going to be the starting quarterback? How many passing yards will they have? I think it's so hard. I think it's George McIntyre because he's already had a full year in Tennessee's system. But, man, if Faison Brandon comes out and wins it, that won't shock me the slightest. All Faison Brandon has done the last 2 years of his life is win, ladies and gentlemen. 2 state titles, back to back. So I don't want to sit here and say, there's no way he wins this starting job. I think there's a chance, man. I'm going to go out and I'll give a call that it's going to be George McIntyre. I'm going to say he'll have, what, Joey had like 3,440? How many did Nico have in 2024? Let's see. Nico in 2024 had 2,616. I'm going to say 2,550 for George McIntyre. Nintendo Master 55. What are the chances of Tennessee making the playoffs next year? I think less after the Joey Aguilar decision. If Joey would have been good, man, I think they would have been much better. I will say percentage chance 10. Again, first-year quarterback. Defense that's going to be better, but, I mean, you got really good skill position players, so I don't know. I'd say 10%. What would you say, Ethan? Okay. Ethan's giving us a 10 or 15. I don't necessarily disagree. Heck, maybe even less. What's the percent chance the Tennessee Volunteers will make the playoff in 2026? Scale it for me 1 to 100 down below. That's going to do it for today's show. Thanks so much for hanging out with us on a weekend. Hope you guys have enjoyed your weekend, your time off. Make sure to follow me on socials. Make sure to subscribe here at the channel.